Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Samasta Janakalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Pranachakshusrotramato Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Aham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarod Anirakaranamastu Nirakaranam Me Astu Tadatma Nirateya Upanishatsu Dharma Te Mayi Santu Te Mayi Santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are on the Anyadevatat Vididatato Avididadati. Iti Shishrama Purvesham Yenastat Vyatichakshire. Third mantra. Student asked about the Atma Tattva, the spiritual principle in everyone, because of which the inert body, mind, sense complex is functioning as though it is sentient. That Atma Tattvam student has named as Deva, the divine principle. Therefore, the final question is Atma Kaha. The teacher gave the teaching in two stages. In the first stage, he gave the Lakshanam of Atma, the definition. The second stage, he gave the Pramanam, through which Atma has to be known. Because Lakshana Pramanabhyam Vastu Siddhihi. And the Lakshanam he gave was Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyate. Atma in the eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind, prana of prana, etc. Through this indirect definition, what the teacher pointed out is essentially that Atma is the consciousness principle itself. Shankaracharya calls it as Chaitanya Matra Satta Aham. That which is purely consciousness by itself. Shrotrasya Shrotram conveys the three ideas. One is consciousness is different from every organ. Number two, consciousness pervades every organ. Number three, consciousness makes every organ a sense organ, capable of sensing the surroundings. Minus consciousness, the organs will stop to be sense organ. They will be inert bundle of matter, incapable of knowing themselves as well as the surroundings. Therefore, consciousness is different from every organ, pervades every organ, makes every organ a sense organ, a sentient organ, sensible organ, whatever you call. So, what is Atma? Consciousness. This is the definition. Now the next question is, what is that Pramanam with which, the instrument of knowledge with which the consciousness can be known? that the teacher said, unfortunately, no pramanam can give you the knowledge of consciousness. No pramanam can reveal consciousness. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vak gacchati, no mano, na vidmo, na vijanimo. No pramanam can reveal consciousness. And why do we say no pramanam can reveal? If any pramanam reveal consciousness, consciousness will become a revealed object. In Sanskrit, that which is revealed by a pramanam is called prameyam. So consciousness, if revealed by a pramanam, also will become what? A prameyam. One of the objects in the creation. And once that consciousness become an object, then what happened? All the five problems will be Drishyatvam, Bhaudikatvam, Sagunatvam, Savikaratvam, Agamavanitvam. All these will be, consciousness will be conditioned by all these. All the features of the world, consciousness also will have. Then it will be not be consciousness, it will be an achetana vastu. That is why consciousness is called aprameyam. Aprameyo Rishikesha. So the very word aprameyam means sarva pramana agocharam. Not available for any instrument. When the teacher said consciousness is not knowable through any knowing instrument, the student naturally was disappointed. Should I have to live my entire life with just faith in consciousness? Is consciousness only a matter of belief? If something is not knowable, it becomes just a matter of faith. Then the teacher gave some hope by pointing out that there is a unique pramanam called Vedanta Vakya Pramanam, Apaurusheya Shabda Pramanam, which is not conventionally available, but it has been handed down through Guru Shishya Parampara. What is the glory of that pramanam? It is a unique pramanam which will reveal consciousness without making it a prameyam. Normally, a pramanam reveals everything. How? By converting it into prameyam. Prameyam means object. Pramana means instrument of knowledge. A knowable object, but the Vedanta Vakyam, that is Mahavakyam, reveals the consciousness without making it a prameyam. One of the objects. It is a pramanam without being a pramanam. That is why the Vedanta is a pramanam without being a pramanam. Because it reveals consciousness without making it a pramanam. He gave that fantastic definition, Anya Devatat Viditat Atho Aviditat Ati, which is an indirect Mahavakyam, the first Mahavakyam. Now what is the message given by that? Atma does not come under known object category. It does not come under unknown object category also. Atma is neither a known object nor an unknown object. That means what? Atma is not a knowable object. We have to go step by step. Atma is not a knowable object. That means what? Atma is not an object itself. Still it exists. So from this we have to discern the message Atma exists and it is not an object. That means what? Atma has to be the knower, the subject alone. Because the knower alone can never become known or knowable. Experiencer alone is never experienced or experienceable. Therefore, without objectifying Atma, you have to know the Atma by claiming it as I, the subject. Without objectifying Atma, you have to know the Atma by claiming it as I, the knower, the experiencer, the subject. While claiming I am the Atma, we have to remember a very important point. The meaning of the word I should not be any one of the sense organs, because Atma is not a sense organ. Then what is it? It is the sense organ of the sense organs. So while claiming I am the Atma, I should claim I am the consciousness principle, which is different from every sense organ, which lends life to every sense organ. So I am the consciousness which blesses the body, which blesses the mind, which blesses the sense organ, in fact, enlivens the body. Based on this, you have to go to the consciousness. There are 5 capsules of Vedanta. Because I am not the body, mind or sense organ. I am of the nature of eternal and all-pervading consciousness principle. I am the only source of permanent peace, security and happiness. Not any one of the object in the world. Object in the world can give happiness, but not permanent happiness, because object itself is not permanent. Therefore, the second capsule is, I am the only source of permanent peace, security and happiness. The third one is, by mere presence, I lend life or sentiency to the inert body, mind, sense complex. I lend life by mere presence, not through an action, but mere presence. I lend sentiency to the body-mind complex. And through the body-mind complex, I experience the inert world. Body-mind complex become a medium for me. I am not the body-mind complex. It is a costume that I use for worldly transaction. Vesha Bhanataha Swatma Darshanam Isha Darshanam Swatma Rupataha. Upadesara Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, body, mind, sense complex is not me. It is a costume. Kosha is a short form for costume. Panchakosham means it is a 5-layered costume. Let us use the costume, but let us not take ourselves as the costume. Because only when I use the costume, the world is available for transaction. The moment I go to deep sleep state, the body costume, I do not use it, but I am. Sense organ, I do not use it, but I am. The mind, I do not use, but I am. I am in deep sleep state as what? Pure consciousness principle. So use the costume, transact in the world, withdraw from the costume and claim that I am the Atma. Very simple, right? Now, therefore, costume is not a problem. Employing the costume also is not a problem. Identifying with the costume is a problem. The actor should never forget that he is an actor while playing the role of a beggar. The actor, while playing the role of a beggar, let him cry, let him sing a song. Because in the movies, beggar also got a song. Because that is how they run the movie for 3.5 hours. But the beggar is a movie beggar. The beggar in a movie should remember, I am not a beggar. I am an actor who is going to become richer by being a beggar. So, another few crores, I don't know what are the rates. So play the roles using the costume Swami Panchagadashi says, even if you don't know that you are Atma, you just say you are Atma. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. And he says, one day you will get there. It is not self-hypnotism. We are trying to remove the hypnotism. So, loosen, what is that? As samsara get, see, when raga-dvesha, mamakara, ahankara, mamakara get loosened, as aham and mama get loosened, raga-dvesha get loosened. As raga-dvesha get loosened, samsara get loosened. As samsara gets loosened, moksha gets strengthened. You cannot say loosened. Strengthened. Loosen aham and mama. Loosen raga-dvesha. I use the word loosen because it is a gradual process. Every class has to loosen aham and mama. Vedanta is a gradual spiritual evolution, not a revolutionary thing. Thus, I have to strengthen Atma-jnanam. Strengthening the jnanam is called Atma-nishtha. Shravanam, mananam give knowledge. Nididhyasanam gives nishtha. Vivek Chudamani, Bhagavan Shankaracharya said, Atma Bhava Prabhalikaranam, Jiva Bhava Durbalikaranam. These are the words used. As samsara comes down, this ahankara comes down, mamakara, ahankara, raga-dvesha gets reduced. This is our long-term project. And therefore the teacher said, you know the Atma by claiming, I am the Atma. Now up to this we saw in our last class, being important, I summed up the message. I know you are all Atmanishta, you do not require all these things. If you know it, you take it as Nididhyasanam. If you don't know, it is Shravanam. The class is Shravanam for some student, for others it is Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam for the veteran. So great ones. Okay, now continuing. Next mantra. Yat vachanabhyuditam yena vagabhyudyate tateva brahmatvam vidhi netam yadidam upasate. Now in the following 5 verses, the Upanishad is repeating the same idea. So if you know one mantra, all our mantras are similar. So you don't have to repeat it, but we'll go through that to see. So, yat vachan abhyuditam yena vak abhyudhate tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Now these 5 verses, the corollary of the previous 2 mantras, 3rd mantra and 4th mantra is being pointed out. Atma can never be known. Atma can never be experienced. Atma has to be claimed as I am. Atma cannot be seen. Atma has to be claimed as the seer. Atma cannot be heard. Atma should be claimed as hearer. To be claimed as knower cannot be experienced, but to be claimed as experiencer. Your mind should not go outward. The mind should fall back onto your own lap. That is why Vedanta is world dependence to God dependence, to ultimately coming back to what? Self-dependence. What self? Not the body, not the mind, not the sense organ, but Srotrasya Srotram. That Nadatra Chakshur Gachati, Navak Gachati, etc. Anyadeva Tatviditadati, Aviditadati, combined, the corollaries are extracted. Now what is that? We will see. Each sloka here is a Mahavakyam. Kenopanishad is a very small Upanishad, alright, but it is full of profound Mahavakyam statements. Yat vacha anabhyutitam. Atma can never be described through words. What is the reason? All words deal with the world, which has got the 5 features we just now saw. That objectivity, that's the main thing. So, since the word can describe only material thing, we do not have any word to talk about consciousness. Even the word consciousness cannot explain the Atma, because when I use the word consciousness to a lay person, he understands consciousness only an attribute of the body. The dictionary word consciousness means only the body which is now conscious. We use the word he is now conscious, and then what happened? Then he became unconscious. Thus we use the word conscious and unconscious as adjective. And in English grammar, an adjective reveals what? An attribute, a property. Like blueness, which is revealing blue, which is an attribute. So consciousness also in English grammar refers to an attribute. What is that? Now the body is conscious. After death, the body has become unconscious. Remember, the word consciousness also does not reveal Atma. We have to say consciousness is not a part, etc. Lot of features we have to say to understand what is consciousness. After giving those features, the word consciousness must make sense. Therefore, what I am assuming is that when I am using the word consciousness, you are listening to the word, remembering simultaneously, parallelly, it is those 5 features. The moment you forget the 5 features, the word consciousness will not convey anything. Even the word existence is like that. The word happiness is also like that. All these words should be fortified with all those aspects of consciousness. Therefore, it is an independent principle, like space which pervades and enlivens the body. So, yat vacha anabhyutitam, it cannot be described at all. Yena vak abhyutyate, because of which the organ of speech is able to speak. Because of which alone the organ of speech is experienced by us and also capable of speaking. Yena vak abhyutyate, that 5-featured consciousness, tadeva tvam, that consciousness is you. You are not a material body. You are that consciousness itself, free from body-mind complex. Then suddenly the teacher introduces the word Brahma, which has not been introduced until now. Tadeva Brahmatvam Vitti. Student also has not asked about that. The teacher gave this word Brahma. So when I say I am the consciousness principle pervading and enlivening the body, I do not know what is the size of consciousness, because one of the features of consciousness is what? It is not part, product or property. It is an independent principle which pervades and enlivens the body. I know the size of the body, but what is the size of consciousness has not been mentioned. If the size is not mentioned, a student will conclude what? Everybody has got one Atma. So, your body has got what? One Atma. What is the nature of your Atma? Consciousness. And what does your Atma do? It will illumine or enliven your body. Thus each one has Atma. How many consciousnesses are there? A person will conclude that there are so many consciousnesses. There is no consciousnesses word, okay? Each consciousness enlivening the body. In fact, this is a conclusion made by several philosophers. Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika. They are all giant philosophers. They say as many bodies are there, so many souls are there. As many bodies are there, so many Atmas are there. This is the blunder we may commit. Therefore the teacher says consciousness is only one. Like Sutre Manigana Iva. Bodies are many, there is only one consciousness which is threading all the bodies. If there is one consciousness in and through all the bodies, enlivening everybody, what about the intermediary space? Between two beads you can see the thread. In the mala, there are so many beads. If you separate two beads, you can see the thread. Similarly, between the two bodies, is there consciousness or not? That will be the question. If there is gap between one consciousness and the next, what will be the problem? The consciousness will be counted. There one, here one, we will count. So what is the answer Vedanta gives? In between also consciousness is there. But since the body is not there, the consciousness cannot manifest in between. Therefore, consciousness is present in between the two bodies, not as consciousness, but it is available in a different version. For that, you have to study another Upanishad. In this Upanishad, that topic is not there. Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter, deal with that. In between, the very same spiritual principle is available as what? The existence principle. Therefore, wherever living beings are there, Atma is manifest as Chit. Wherever living beings are not there, Atma is available as Sat principle. Sat means existence, pure existence. Sat Chit Atma is all-pervading, limitless. Therefore, it is called the limitless principle. In Sanskrit, word Brahma means limitless. Brihat Samatva Brahma. Brihadadu Brahma. Brahma Shabda is derived from Brihadadu. Brih means the big. Suppose I say big mountain, big elephant, big horse, big mouse, big mosquito. See, all of them I am using big. But then your idea of big changes, isn't it? Big mountain you look up, big elephant also you look up, then big horse you can look around. Then big mouse look down, big mosquito, you start looking around. So all are conditioned, the bigness is conditioned by the object. But now you remove all objects, only the big. Means what? No limitation. So unlimited means infinite. So that is the Brahma Shabda. Brahma Shabda indicates infinitude. Therefore that consciousness pervades the entire creation, lending consciousness in the living being and lending existence to the non-living being. So who am I? I am the biggest. India there is a bank, Dena Bank. I am the biggest Dena Bank. Greatest charitable person who does the charity of an important thing. I lend consciousness to all the living beings. I lend existence to all the inert things. Thus lending Sat and Chit, I am Brahman. Then you have to study another Upanishad to understand another profound thing. Not only I lend existence and consciousness, what is the other one? It is a good news. In fact, that is the happiest news. What is that? Yovai Bhuma Tat Sukham. Name itself is, it is discussed in Taittiriya Upanishad also, Anandavalli, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. In Chandogya Upanishad, 7th chapter, Yove Bhuma Tat Sukham. The chapter itself is called Bhuma Vidya. Bhuma Vidya means Sukha Vidya. I lend existence, I lend consciousness, I lend Ananda to all minds. Not always, now and then, once in a while, whenever you are smiling, mind does not have happiness of its own. Atma has. What is Brahman? Satchidananda. What is Atma? Satchidananda. Where to find Satchidananda Brahma Atma? Do not look up. Do not look down. You will find Satchidananda Brahma Atma. How? By claiming, I am Satchidananda Brahma Atma. I hope you are enjoying this message. Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi. That alone is that Brahman which you are, that is you. Tvam. So it is what is said, Tattvamasi, Mahavakyam. Tat Brahma Tvam Asi iti vidhi. The teacher says, know this, whether you know other things or not, this is worth knowing. Not only worth knowing, according to Vedanta, start the morning with the awareness. Not with cell phone where all kinds of messages would come, not switching on to the computer which might have crashed, not switching on to the TV which talks about murder, theft and all. Start the day claiming Pratasmaramikti samspuradatmadattvam Satchit Sugam Paramaham Sagadim Duriyam Yasopna Jagrada Sushuptamavedi Nityam Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham Nachabhuta Sangaha. I am that Brahman, Nachabhuta Sangaha. I am not the aging body, every day getting up with one pain or other. As we grow old, yesterday left hand pain, today it is right hand. Yesterday it was left knee, tomorrow it will be the right knee. Therefore, aging body, degenerating body, never claim as me. Let it come, let it grow, let it go. Who am I? Na jayate priyate va kadachit. You have to tie up all. The Upanishad, Gita, Vivek Sudamani, and do not merely tie up and get tied down. You have to claim, I am that Atma. Then the teacher says, Nedam Yadidam Upasate. This Brahman has been worshipped as various deities. In the Veda Purva Bhaga, since this Brahman, which is pure existence, consciousness, which is Ashabdam, Asparsham, is to abstract from a person to understand. Therefore, until the mind becomes mature, the abstract Brahman is presented as concrete deities. Just as Bharata Mata, India, its culture, its knowledge, its heritage, they are all too abstract to us to understand. So what do? We symbolize the great nation with the help of a flag. Flag is not India. Flag represents everything connected with India, not mere geography, its culture, its knowledge, its scriptures. The heritage being abstract, we concretize it with the help of a flag. Sometimes for Bharata Mata, a woman's picture is also given. Similarly, Veda thinks that Brahman is too abstract, even for students who study Vedanta for years. So that's why they say, Swamiji, it is too abstract. If they say this after 25 years of study, what about a beginner? Therefore, Veda concretizes Nirgunam Brahman into Saguna Ishvara. Nirvishesham Param Brahma Sakshat Kartum Anishvaraha Ye Mandaha. We are all born Manda. Manda means Buddhi is gross, that is the idea. They cannot understand the Nirgunam Nirvishesham Param Brahma. Te Anukampyante. The scriptures out of compassion, pity for those people, Sa Vishesha Nirupanaihi. Nirgunam Brahman is described as Saguna Vishnu. Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Padmanabham Suresham. There is a loka called Vaikuntha Loka, etc. There is a Milky Ocean. Somebody said Bhagavan Vishnu is the one first to discover the spring bed, coiled bed. Because Andhasesharag is coiled, it's a spring bed. And there is a Lakshmi Devi massaging his feet. This is a concept for Brahman as Vishnu. This is presented only for the sake of puja and getting chitta shuddhi. You should not ask too many questions. Use the Vishnu form for the puja. Do not ask, is there really a Vaikuntha? Is there really a Milky Ocean? Do not probe into the details of those lokas. Somebody says it is there, okay. Somebody else says it is not there, that is also okay. As far as Vedanta is concerned, he trims his curiosity. And what is trimming the curiosity? Do not probe into that. Then what do? Use the Vishnu form for Sahasranama Archana, Ashtotra Archana, for doing Dhyanam. And by doing Archana and Dhyanam, what do you get? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. And sooner or later that Vishnu must be recognized as what? Aham Asmi. Thus all Saguna Ishvara are only for the sake of puja. We should never ask, is really such a God is sitting somewhere or not? Extra cosmic God is not for probing. But nowadays people are trying to probe into that. They read the miracle stories. Vishnu came, Shiva came, saw and went and blessed. All those stories you need not dismiss. You need not confirm it also. Neither confirmation nor refutation. So that somebody says, I saw Vishnu yesterday. Very good. Seeing Vishnu is better than seeing someone else. Some people I saw straight. Some people I saw in dream. Never probe into that. Never question that. Never reject that also. And are we interested in working for such darshanam? Vedanta is interested in Chitta Shuddhi. For Chitta Shuddhi we require Nirgunam Brahma personified as Rama, Krishna, Devi, etc. Forget all the Puranic stories. Use the Navaratri for Chitta Shuddhi. Use Deepavali for Chitta Shuddhi. Somehow or other, from Saguna Ishvara, we have to come to Nirguna Brahma. For Nirguna Brahma, you do not require any proof. You do not require any proof for consciousness. Because are you conscious being or not? Are you a conscious being or not? Therefore, once you understand it is me, the consciousness principle, I do not have any question whether God exists or not. That question dissolves not because I have seen an extra cosmic God somewhere. For me, the proof of God's existence is I exist. Asanneva sadbhavati asat brahmedi veda ched. The Upanishad says, if a person says God does not exist, it means he does not exist. From that, what do we understand? If you say God does not exist, it means you do not exist. What does it mean? You are God in your real nature. Thus, Saguna Ishvara is temporarily presented in Karma and Upasana Kanda. That Saguna Bhakti, Dvaita Bhakti is very, very important for getting what? Not Jnanam, but Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. That is why in Gita, Lord Krishna talks about Dvaita Bhakti. 3 levels of Dvaita Bhakti. Initially you worship God for solving the problem. So Artaha, Jijnasura Artharti, Jnani, Dvaradhartani, Dvaradarshava. Bhagavan talked about that in the 7th chapter, I think. So, initially you worship God for solving the problem, Artha Bhakti. Later you worship God for success in your ventures, Artharthi. Later you worship God for Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, Jijnasu Bhakti. During these 3 levels, which may take several years, Dasoham Bhakti, Dvaita Bhakti we should have. But Dvaita Bhakti cannot be the ultimate. Dvaita Bhakti should lead you to Advaita Bhakti, which is nothing but Advaita Jnanam. Without Dvaita Bhakti is impossible. Without Advaita Bhakti is incomplete. Therefore, start with Dasoham, but a stage must come through Shravanam, Mananam and Nidhyasanam. I should say, even a God which is available as an object in front of me, even such God is available. Even if Lord Krishna comes and gives me darshanam, that Krishna, the formed Krishna, the Sharira Sahita Krishna, that Krishna cannot be the ultimate reality. It is Anatma. That is why at the start of puja we say Asmin Vimpe Dhyayami Avahayami Asanam Samarpayami. Then we say that Asmat Bimbad Mahaganamadim Yadasthanam Prastapayami Punaragavan Cha Mangalaya Cha. Now what type of God is that? Is available for invitation and dismissal. About that invitable, dismissible, objective God has to be only an empirical reality. It cannot be absolute reality. God in His real nature is a non-different from me. From Dasoham, I have to come to Soham. But if any student says, I am not ready, perfectly alright. Vedanta is never in a hurry. As long as you want Dasoham Bhakti, continue. If you want to continue for another 10 years or another 10 decades, another 10 janmas, continue. We have so many janmas, Hindus, we have no problem. But finally you have to come to Soham. Because Dasoham Bhakti, Dvaita Bhakti cannot give liberation. Upanishad is very clear. Dvaitatve bhayam bhavati. As long as I live in duality, I am in triangular format. Triangular format means Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. It's called triangular format. As long as I am dasoham jivaha, sanchita karmas will be there. How much sanchita karma? Anadikala pravrittam. Even Bhagavan cannot totally say because Bhagavan happened to be karma phaladata. Therefore, regularly every morning he will check his computer which all jivas, all karma who has done. He will see, therefore he will have to give sukham dukkham, janma, marana. As long as we do not come to soham, even Bhagavan cannot save you. If you ask Bhagavan, what should I do? Bhagavan will say, do not stay in dasoham, attend Kenopanishad class. May you come to soham. This is only means of liberation. Therefore, very powerful line, nedam yadidam upasate. The God you worship as an object is not the ultimate reality. The God which is an object of worship is also mithya. When we say Jagat mithya, it includes the objective God also, which is existing everywhere, including in Vaikuntha, Kailasa or Brahmaloka. Now, so et pachan apyutitam yena vak apyutade tateva brahmatvam vidhi yenam nedam yadidam upasate. And next one is yan manasa namanute yena hurmanomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Now, same idea. What one cannot feel with the mind, but because of which they say that the mind feels. Know that alone as Brahman and not this which people do worship here. So Gurudev used to say for these verses, they are similar. Now let us read. Yachachusha napashyati yena chachum hipachyati tadeva brahmatvam vidhi edam yadidam upasate. Yachachusha napashyati yena chachugam shipashyati tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. What cannot be seen by the eye, but by which the eyes are able to see, know that alone is Brahman and not this which people do worship here. Our Gurudev used to say about these verses, it is called, he used to call it as lallabi. Lallabi is when a child wants to sleep, he is getting sleepy. The father knows, so he tried to make him sleep. And he thinks that he slept, so he put him on the bed. Then immediately he said, Daddy. Then the mother takes the child and keep the child on the lap. And she started singing what? There is no tune. So, listening for some time, the child, out of sheer boredom, so the same way, the teacher also here repeat monotonously the same thing. So hoping that you are all in meditation, if you repeat it continuously 4 or 5 times, hoping that you will get into that samadhi state. So this is the idea here. So all the five. Yes, shrotrena dashrunoti. Yena shrotramitagam shrutam. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Edam yadidam upasate. So what cannot be heard by the ear, but by which the ears are able to hear, know that alone is Brahman and not this which people worship here. Yat pranena praniti, yena prana praniyate, tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, edam yadidam upasate. Iti prathama khandaha. That which one breathes not with his breath, but by which breath is breathed. Know that we Brahman and not this which people do worship here. With that, the first chapter is over. So, idea is Brahman is not an object of your knowledge, of your perception. Panchendriyas, Panchajnanendriyas cannot perceive or objectify that Brahman. Brahman being the subject, we have to recognize this and own it and stay with it. Nishtha. Now, the second chapter starts with a mind-boggling thing. The teacher wants the student, let us read. Yadi manyase suvedeti dakrame vinunam tum vedha brahmano rupam yadasya tvam yadasya deveshu athanu mimakam sameva te manye viditam. Now the teacher is warning the student. You heard me, and if you think that you have understood, then you understood very little. The prameva vinunam, the hrameva vinunam, even a little, very little. Certainly, very little you understood means you have not understood. That's the idea. So, the form of Brahman. Therefore, I think that what you think is still to be ascertained means you have to think more. So means what? The idea is that you say, okay, I have understood. Now, understanding is what? Brahman as object, isn't it? All our understanding is through intellect. So, intellect has to have a concept. The concept when you form, then what happens? Brahman becomes an object. So it is that you have to understand without objectifying it. That is why the mind has to become subtle. That's why in Kenopanishad, Raja says, Churasya dhara nihitam. It is something like walking on the razor's edge. Sukshma buddhi. Sukshma buddhi, very sharp intellect is not, that alone is not enough, but pure intellect. Purity is required. Not only the people are very sharp, but then purity is not there. So it's called sadhana sampatti. That is why upasana is very important to make that mind pure. So for one upasana is good, that is given in Gita also. One is called Akasha Upasana. So Akasha Upasana, Akasha is to appreciate the infinite nature of Brahman. Because Akasha Upasana, you cannot have a form. So if you imagine that meditating upon Akasha, but there also the mind forms a form. Like Akasha is like a canopy. Something like that. That also should go. But there is a method given in our Sampradaya. When you are meditating, so first we start with Eka Rupa Upasana. One form, like Krishna, Rama or Ganesha, etc. Start with one form. Then graduate into Aneka Rupatma, Virat Rupa. Now when you graduate to Virat Rupa, what happens? Mind expands. So there is a technique for that. When you sit in meditation, now you close your eyes, sit comfortably in your seat. Gently close your eyes. And imagine you are seated in this Badari hall. There are four walls. Even though your eyes are closed, the wall and the people sitting in this hall, all of them fall in your consciousness. You are aware of them. You don't have to see them. You can visualize in your mind. Then slowly expand that consciousness pervasiveness to the entire Chicago. And the entire Chicago also fall within your consciousness. Then slowly expand that to the entire country, North America. The entire North America come within your consciousness, awareness. And slowly move to the entire earth. The entire earth is within your consciousness. Then expand that to the entire creation, the Milky Way, the stars, sun, moon, entire space you are aware of. And that awareness This owning up is called Jivan Mukti Avastha. Practice this